of the nearest exit from the venue in case of emergency. Thank you for joining us on this important day.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the School of Theater, Dance, and Performance Studies Commencement. My name is Maura Keefe. I'm the director of the school, or TDPS as we call it. My pronouns are she, her. I am thrilled to be here with all of you in the K Theater, a place that we treasure here in the Clary Smith. And I want to make sure we welcome you in the way. Today's ceremony is dedicated to longtime TDPS supporter Marilyn Schoenbaum, who died peacefully yesterday, sung into the next world by a series of Broadway show tunes. Marilyn was married to the renowned American scholar of Shakespeare, Samuel Schoenbaum, who predeceased her. We use their names daily here in TDPS as we head into the Schoenbaum rehearsal studio. Meeting with any of TDPS's friends and patrons is a treat, but having lunch with Marilyn Schoenbaum was an event. After telling some great and salacious stories about her life, she might have sung a song from Cabaret, her favorite Broadway musical, sipped a little limoncello, always wearing her bright red terrapin hat, a favorite accessory. The legacy of Samuel and Marilyn Schoenbaum will include an endowment to support research and scholarly travel for graduate students in TDPS, and we're so grateful to the Schoenbaums for their love of and support of the performing arts, but we're really going to miss Marilyn especially. She was one of a kind. So while commencement, oh, I forgot to tell you can sit down. Commencement is about these folks today, but we also like to forge connections with our past students, our alumni. This is the third year that we've invited alumni from TDPS to make remarks for our graduating students and their loved ones. We've invited 2 this year who have recorded their remarks. The first alumni speaker is Liz Lehrman. Lehrman was a vibrant member of the dance department back when it was a standalone program. MacArthur winner Liz Lehrman is a choreographer, performer, writer, teacher, and speaker. She has spent the past 4 decades making her artistic research personal, funny, intellectually vivid, and up to the moment. A key aspect of her artistry is opening her process to everyone, shipbuilders to physicists, construction workers to ballerinas, resulting in both research and experiences that feel both participatory and relevant. She founded the Liz Lehrman Dance Exchange, which is based in Tacoma Park, Maryland, in 1976, and has cultivated a multi-generational ensemble as a force in contemporary dance. She turned over the leadership to the next generation of leaders in 2011. One of the reasons I wanted to ask her to speak today is because right here in this building, in the Michelle Smith Library for the Performing Arts, we hold the Liz Lehrman Dance Exchange collection. You can see, if you want to see more after today, all kinds of digitized recordings of performances, rehearsals, workshops, and interviews. Liz Lehrman.
I'm Liz Lehrman, and I'm so happy that you invited me into your space. I hope you're happy in this moment, too. Congratulations. What an incredible time of life you are in. Also want to say congratulations to the families who've supported you all this time, to your teachers, the staff, to all the people that made it possible to be able to be in this moment together. I was pretty touched when they called me to see if I would be willing to talk a little bit at your graduation, partly because the University of Maryland holds a special place for me. I came in as a transfer student, and I was given refuge at a really troubling time in my life. And when I think back about the school and about what I was able to do in that time there, it was a few things that made it feel like a refuge and also a launch pad. One of those things is, of course, well, no of course about this. I want to actually say this. It's the friends that you have made. Just take a moment, look around, see these people that have been on this journey with you. I hope that you're able to sustain some of these relationships for the rest of your life, because you have seen each other through some maybe amazingly exalting times and also some difficult times, but it matters. And I think attending to relationship is one of the best things we can do to sustain ourselves with our work, with our families, with our passions, and with the way we face the world and what we hope can contribute. So Maryland was amazing. The other thing that was so incredible were my teachers. And just saying again, a shout out to all the faculty. I know they've worked really, really hard to bring you to this place too, and I hope everyone's being merry in the moment. There are a lot of ways that people decide to measure success or accomplishment. One of those is how much money you make. I don't think that's a very useful measurement. Sometimes it's accolades. They help. It's not the greatest measurement. There is something about the way we can assess our own knowledge and our own way of seeing, and even our own visions, often in collaboration with others. I don't mean it's just singular. I mean all the ways in which we collaborate with other people in order to bring some of these ideas into focus. That is a way to sustain ourselves. And again, I'm going to refer to this word relationship. I have found over the years that it's when I'm in relationship over time that I can count on the people around me to keep me in my right place moving forward, or moving in a circle if that's what I need to do, but moving in context of the thing I'm trying to do, or that I have been called upon to do, or that I've been commissioned to do. So building this conscious relationship and paying attention to the signals you're giving yourself, as well as what you're hearing from others, I hope will help make these next years purposeful and meaningful for you. I think probably one of the most profound things that you have done these past years, and that I hope you will get to do into your futures, is to continue to carve out an understanding of what creativity is. I think creativity is a birthright, and I think it's essential. And you have majored in it. You have said, and your families have said, and people all around you have said, this is an essential ingredient in the way in which we want to live our lives for ourselves and our communities and the world that we are trying to make. I'm not sure that I think creativity is fragile itself. I actually think it's with us consistently and constantly, and that part of our task is to continue to nourish it and let it be present. One of the ways I think that's possible is in what I would call laboratories. Laboratories might be a 6-week rehearsal process, or laboratories I mean, maybe we conceive them more like scientists in the labs that they have, but actually, I feel our labs could be in a hospital. Our labs can be, well, as they were for me, in a shipyard. Could be a university. It can be in so many places. You don't always get paid when you're in these laboratories. In fact, sometimes you'll find that you're the builder, the holder, the person who gathers everybody, the person that makes the things happen, the person who's noticing the impact, the person who's weaving the stories. That'll be you. But it is incredible in terms of the information it will give you to sustain yourself as you move on. I'm working on a new book. It might be called An Insomniac's Guide to a Restless World, because I am indeed restless and I am an insomniac. But the thing that I'm coming to see about this book I'm working on is that the world is in constant motion. Everything is moving. Our institutions are moving, our bodies are moving, the ground under our feet moving, people's moving across the planet. I think the knowledge that you have, not just the knowledge systems that are ingrained in you, but the processes that you now have and that you will continue to develop, are the best possible things for living in this restless world. And I know you're going to contribute to it. Congratulations, and on we go.
Speaking of the knowledge you have, I want to present 2 undergraduate student awards. These awards were selected by, or the recipients were selected by the faculty. The Erica Timai Dance Award is awarded to a graduating senior who has shown outstanding participation in dance. This year, the award goes to Emily Ann Sheridan. The Charles B. Hale Dramatic Award is awarded to the graduating senior who has shown outstanding participation in theater. This year, the award goes to Gab Ryan. Now it's my privilege to introduce Professor Franklin J. Hildy, who will present the MA in Theater and Performance Studies graduate.
This year's graduate from the Master of Arts program in Theater and Performance Studies is Margaret Lipinski. Margaret wrote her thesis on the purpose of labor theater, industrial democracy, and union theater in Detroit, 1946 to 1949, and I'm pleased to announce that she's been accepted into the PhD program at Brown University. Now, I would like to introduce Assistant Professor Kendra Portier, Director of the Master of Fine Arts in Dance program, to present this year's MFA in Dance graduates.
What a pleasure. Brittany E. Falcon. Thesis title, Still Sounds, Waves of Sound, Health, and the Choreographic Process. Person, Noah, Lanza. Thesis title, Mi Vida in Rhythm, Resistance of an Afro-Honduran immigrant in the United States through tap dance. Mary Kate Ford, thesis title. Thesis title, Material Body 01 plus Pulse. Javier Ignacio Padilla Garcia. Thesis title, Alternative Choreographies, Immersive Performance as Decolonial Pedagogical and Performance Practice in El Bodegón de la Bruja. Rebecca Steinberg. Thesis title, Tonight We May Win, Challenging the Universal in Queer Embodiment and Performance. Next, the presentation of graduates, MFA Design, Amit Chandrasekhar.
Good morning, everybody. Very excited to present this graduating class. For costume design, Cody Conrad von Ruden. Whose thesis title was What is Real and What is True, Designing Costumes for Daniel Catan's Florencia and El Amazonas. Rebecca Janney. Whose thesis, Decadence, Decay, and Divine Retribution, Reframing Don Giovanni through Costume Design. For lighting design, Christian D. Enriquez. Whose thesis, The Prom, an exploration of the musical theater design process. Christina Cooney Laverty. whose thesis was Men on Boats, a Lighting Design. For lighting and multimedia design, Luis Manuel Garcia. His thesis, Synergizing Shadows and Screens, Lighting and Media Design in a Bicycle Country. In multimedia design, Jaron Kowalski. Whose thesis was Next Now, in Conversation, Gathering Since the Pandemic. Next, Rashonda Lazar. Whose thesis, Lucid Dreams, an exploration in immersive interactive storytelling with augmented reality. The next group is the scenic designers. Chartoya Jean-Baptiste. Her thesis, Fall MFA Dance Thesis Concert 2023, an immersive world. Gavin Edward Mossier. Whose thesis, Men on Boats, a design expedition to bring the natural wonders of the Grand Canyon to the stage. Next, Brandon Roque. Whose thesis, The Prom, a Scenic Design.
We have two student speakers this year who were selected by the faculty. Please let me introduce the first speaker, who just received his MFA in dance, Javi Garcia. I gotta do that again. We've called him Javi Padilla for the last 3 years, so.
I'm taking the hat off, sorry. Before I start my speech, I've had a running joke with my family about they're really bad at keeping surprises, so surprise, I'm speaking at graduation. Thank you all for coming to my graduation ceremony. I'm honored that all 300 of you accepted my RSVP. All jokes aside, I really want to take time for all of you to give yourselves gratitude and grace for taking time out of your busy schedules to support the momentous, okay, more, we gotta start it again. Yeah. Thank you. Just give yourselves gratitude and grace for taking time out of your busy schedules to support the momentous achievement of every single individual in this room. We are extremely fortunate enough to be in a room full of future award-winning artists, published artist scholars, progressive educators, and creative activists that will, with no doubt in my mind, propel a forward-thinking agenda that will make our field a better place for us all. It's crazy to think, yeah. It's crazy to think how much can transpire in 3 or 4 years of heightened education in the arts. I mean, it constantly feels like we're isolated within these concrete walls as we stay way past 10 p.m. for late night tech or dress rehearsal, insular in our corridor pre-performance chats, and lonely as we write our 5th 10-page paper that Dr. Keefe has requested for the following weekend. But stepping back and zooming out from the concentrated thesis or capstone work, these past 3 years has opened my perspective in ways that I've never expected. I have felt more in touch with the world around me through the phenomenal work that I get to participate in every day. Through the amazing work of the undergraduate choreographers, dancers, actors, designers, and playwrights, alongside the boundary-pushing work of my graduate colleagues, has been honestly the greatest education that I can receive, amongst the already valuable words of our esteemed faculty, staff, and performing arts fanatics that grace us every night in the K, Kogat, and Dance Theater. TDPS can constantly feel like that hit movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once. I mean, we're constantly pushing ourselves, being pulled in endless amounts of roles, the pressure cooker of trying to be the best version of ourselves, to make the best possible art that we can, to speak universal messages that transcend the boundaries of our performance spaces. But just like in the film, the one thing that grounds Michelle Yeoh's strong mother figure of a character, and all of us in this chaotic and isolating journey that is art school, is love. In the case of Yeoh's character, the love of her daughter, and for us, the love of our craft. Through tears, sweat, and frustration, those 10 p.m. tech and dress rehearsals easily spill out into parking lot midnight conversations, phone calls, and droopy-eyed text messages at 1 a.m. as we continuously think, analyze, and critically respond to the work that we're making. The love for our work transcends the frustrations that might appear along the way. Author Harold W. Becker says, "Love is the catalyst of transformation from limitation to freedom." The love of our craft not only enhances our theatrical experiences from a backstage perspective, but it also enriches our relationships, creating lasting collaborative relationships that challenge traditional norms of how rehearsals are ran, how performances are held, how institutions can shift their ways of supporting emergent artists and the creative process. Love is decolonial. Love holds no authority over one person or the other. Love knows no bounds and can easily create magic and cause moments of transformation. I come from a very small island in the Caribbean called Puerto Rico, born in Santurce, where the currency might be the US dollar, but the community, the work ethic that was ingrained in me from day one was the thing that pushed me from island to flight to study dancing and has always been insurmountable amounts of transformational love. After Hurricane Maria in 2017, where I could not contact my parents for a number of days, in which I sat in solemn silence, I also sat in fear, desperation, and deep sadness. I also sat in love and light and in hope, which kept me afloat, and to this day, I have led and let love lead my way through the many trials and tribulations of life, even the ones that have passed through these halls. Author Jeff Brown says, "You don't measure love in time, you measure love in transformation. What the heart cares about is resonance. Resonance that opens it, resonance that enlivens it, resonance that calls it home. And when it finds it, the transformation begins." In my 3 years here, I have experienced every student trying and striving to connect through their work to each other, yes, through the normal social means of engagement, such as going to loonies, but also through their work, through their passions, through their incredible work ethic, and through the groundbreaking innovations that they discover each and every day. It is an absolute honor to be speaking not only in front of you all, but in front of my dear friends. I hope that what you can take away from some things from this lackluster speech is every single student in this room has worked hard, long, frustrating hours for performances, art pieces, exhibits, installations, and they all emanate messages that will change our world as art practitioners, as educators, and as world citizens for the better. The second thing that you should take away is that being an artist is hard, and if you meet an artist, please continue supporting them and supporting the arts to whatever capacity you can. My Venmo is behind on each and every one of the packets, so you can donate there. And number 3, that love is transformational, and to continue holding the ones that you love dear and close. Love is an art form that knows many mediums, many languages and forms, and I hope today we can share the transformational act of loving one another as individuals as roommates, as best friends, as families, as an alumni network, as cousins, as teachers, and as students. And most importantly, that we all love each other as a forward-thinking, creative community that has us connected by the very merit of our time spent here. Thank you all so much, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and congratulations again to my colleagues of the class of 2024.
Thank you, Javi. It's now my privilege to introduce Professor Alvin Mays, who will present the BA in Dance graduates.
Thank you. I'd like to take one moment and have you all just kind of look around, look to your right, look to your left, look behind you. You are the reason that our students have been so successful. You have been their support from the very beginning. And clearly, because you are still here, you are still their support. So let's introduce them. These 12 women have been incredible. They have been incredible in this building, on this campus, and across the universe as they have studied and performed and made work and been scholarly. So here we are. Shanika Brown. Shekinah! Soleil Kala. And this student, who I've known since she was 12 years old, Gabrielle Simone Kramer. Greta Kovar. Charlene Cowan. Genevieve Cecile Fernandez.
I was told to stay here.
I'm going to call your name anyway. Okay. Grace Guzman. Cassidy Henning. Yasmin Kab, who apparently is not here, but we still want to celebrate her. Brooke Melton. Gaia Schechter. Emily Ann Sheridan. Raquel Marie Zakowski.
Oh my goodness, our pages are out of order. Here's Javi's script. I now am going to introduce Scott Reese, who will be presenting. No? Student speaker first. Look what I put up with. People in the back telling me what to do. Okay. Our second student speaker, who has not yet received her BA in theater, but will very shortly, is Jordan Embra. Jordan.
Thank you so much. Welcome, esteemed guests, family, friends, faculty, staff, and the graduating class of 2024. Everyone always says that senior year and graduation sneaks up before you even know it. As students, we shrug it off, not knowing the truth of that sentiment. We instead focus on the millions of assignments left to do, the necessity of getting groceries, thank you Trader Joe's, and the lack of sleep that plagues us. However, they were all right. The semester ran at lightning speed, and we are finally here. Over the last holiday break, I was overwhelmed and overcome with scary thoughts of the future. There were so many doubts creeping in and out of my head about life post-graduation. To relieve some of that stress, my family and I had a movie night one Sunday evening. Now, we love action-packed films, so I was not quite surprised when we were watching the first Equalizer movie with the Denzel Washington. As the movie began, it offered a quote that struck me to my core. The two most important days in your life are the day you're born and the day you find out why. That was by Mark Twain. I've spent the majority of my teen and young adult life desperately trying to answer my why. I knew my passion was to storytell through the arts, and I knew that from a young age, but I didn't know my life's purpose and direction. After transferring to UMD my sophomore year, I brought the same fears and insecurities that were already deeply rooted in me. Was I good enough? Would I ever be? However, something amazing happened around the beginning of the school year. I made a realization about the day you find out why. Although Mark Twain introduced to the world such a beautiful quote, I would argue that there wasn't a particular day in which I learned my why. My whys were cultivated throughout my entire life. I just didn't know it then. Through every pain of rejection, every no, every closed door, every identity crisis, every heartbreak lived a why. I was born to go through those rough waters in order to find my place, my people, my artistry. I would not be where I am today if it wasn't for the grace of God. I would not be where I am today without God ordering my steps. I was born to be a friend to incomparable human beings who inspire me, people who I was given the privilege to share stages with, and deep conversations at 1 in the morning about the trajectory of our lives. I met my tribe of people who, by living authentically, encouraged me to do the same. I was born to be a daughter, sister, niece, and granddaughter, and cousin to the most amazing people in this life. And I was born without a shadow of a doubt to sing, dance, and act. I was born for such a time as this. You were all born for such a time as this. In a world that does not always see the value in obtaining a degree or master's in the arts, there are many obstacles that we face. Still, we are taught here that majoring in this field produces healing agents in a world that needs it desperately. This field molds not only artists, but human beings to be compassionate members of society. I have been equipped to advocate for not only equality, but equity in all spaces, to question perspectives of our education, and to never stop learning and educating myself. The arts bring people together. The arts show who we are as a society and what we can be. The arts allow for representation. It is for that little black girl or boy to look up on stage and see that the sky isn't the limit. In fact, they could reach for the stars if that is what they wanted. That is what the arts can do. As we move into this new world, this new chapter, this new season of life, remember that the world is in need of you, not your type, you. Your light, your joy, your presence, your story, your creativity, your whys. There will be those who question your whys. There will be voices externally and internally who will challenge what you believe about yourself. I encourage you all to hold on to your whys closer then, because they will be your North Star. The people, communities, and atmospheres that remind you of who you are. Remember that life is happening to you as much as you are happening to life itself. Remember that your community is not disappearing, that those around you will be your connections, resources, and collaborators, and maybe even your bridesmaids one day. Remember that the well is never empty as long as you focus on work that feeds your soul. Remember that you are ever changing and ever growing. Remember that the days you find out why continue even after we turn this tassel and walk across this beautiful stage. That even more days are coming, even more people, places, and things. So your time starts now. You're ready. Here's to who you were then, who you are in this very second, and oh, who you'll become. Thank you.
In case you weren't standing behind her like I was and could not see Jordan's hat, it says the end of Act 1. I think that's clear. Now, may I please introduce Professor Scott Reese to present the BA in Theater graduates.
Okay, just a second. This is the first year that I've had the privilege to work with every single undergraduate student that is getting their BA in theater today. From teaching them in Theater 222 to working them with the Black Theater and Dance Symposium, to directing them in Little Women, Vera Stark. Okay, I'm not gonna cry yet. Okay. To watch them perform in the Bicycle Country, Stick Fly, Book Club Play, Late Wedding, Prom, Men on Boats. I couldn't be prouder to be part of this commencement today. We started in the COVID years. We acted on camera. We learned how to Zoom. It was horrible. You don't want want to do musical theater on Zoom. So I'm going to let everybody, we don't have an intermission, so everybody can stand up on their feet and take a quick stretch. Okay? Everybody up on your feet for one quick second. Take a stretch. You guys can stand up. This is what we got. Everybody. All right, we are back from our intermission. Since we have the most graduates for the undergraduate major, you'll see it's a little smaller class. But because of COVID, a lot of kids took a gap year, so we probably half the people that we usually do. But with that, we were able to meet each and every one of these fabulous people. So here we go. Nyrika Amini. The wonderful, beautiful Brianna Bush. You work, and work, and work. Let's go, Bree. Please give it up for the amazing Sophia Rose Cicchetti. Hi, Mom and Dad. The incomparable Alexander Diaz-Lopez. You heard her before, you hear her again. Jordan Embra. Two for the price of one here. She did it all. So amazed by her. Gracie Guzman. Michelle Jones. Hayden Lipchenko. We did it, Mel. Mel Mater! From the Clarice to Trader Joe's, Katrina Marinelli! Okay. Yes, just like her name, Precious Ogunsola. Yes, I'm so proud of you. JB, Jonathan Paris. Okay. It's just because she has the same name as me. Katie Reese. Yes, the powerhouse we call Gab Ryan. And Naira Nika Aneko Sanders. Amazing. And now can we have any alumni from TDPS stand up? Anybody in the audience? Alumni. This can't be done without all your support. And now it's my pleasure to give the mic back to Maura, who will introduce our next alumni speaker, who's very special to me, as she took all the same classes you did. I directed her in the main stage production of Blue Window, watched her grow as an incredible musical theater performer in Musical Theater Workshop 1 and 2. Maura. Oh, I can't read it. It's too small. That was my script.
second alumni speaker is Lindsay Kasabian. Kasabian is the Senior Vice President of Casting for Freeform. She reports to Sharon Klein, the Executive Vice President of Casting for Walt Disney Television. Kasabian recently led casting efforts for the former Touchstone Television as Vice President, including Showtime's Homeland, and oversaw the casting of FX's critically acclaimed Fosse and Verdon. Gab, thinking about you with Fosse there. Also Pose. Her first collaboration with Freeform, where she works now, is the pilot Single Drunk Female. None of you know about that. And that was just picked up as a series. She started at the former 20th Century Fox Television in 2006 as an assistant in the casting department, and she graduated from University of Maryland in 2003 with a Bachelor of Arts in Theater.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Kasabian, a Senior Vice President of Casting at the Walt Disney Company. I oversee content for Freeform and Onyx Collective on Hulu. I'm also a University of Maryland theater, dance, and performance studies graduate. I'm going to be honest with you. The entertainment industry is not easy. It takes extreme passion, dedication, and perseverance to succeed. When I was preparing to graduate in May of 2003, I was extremely nervous. I had done back-to-back plays my senior year, and while thrilled, I was also burnt out. That reality, coupled with the fear of unemployment and how to support myself financially, freaked me out. And even though my family was extremely supportive of my studies and love of acting, they were apprehensive too. How would a young woman with little to no industry connections make it in Hollywood? Therefore, I made the very difficult decision not to proceed as planned. I knew myself well enough to admit that the struggle and rejection that invariably accompany a profession in acting was not ideal for me. But I was adamant about a career in the biz, doing what I had no idea, but I was excited to find out. I moved to New York and met with every person related to the field who would sit down with me, while I worked odd jobs here and there, anything that would aid in my professional self-discovery. And throughout all this, I began to determine what I enjoyed and excelled at versus what I didn't. For example, I only lasted one day as a PA on Law & Order, but really blossomed at a nonprofit theater company where we selected actors to table read and workshop unpublished playwrights. Eventually, through a friend of a friend, I landed an interview at a prominent talent agency. And even though I quickly realized that I didn't want to work in representation, the access to the various business divisions and relationships I built there are what furthered my journey. After working in several departments and transferring to the LA office, I finally declared my true calling. If I wasn't going to act, why not cast? I loved actors, and the prospect of partaking in such a huge part of the script-to-screen excursion enthralled me. Numerous informal meetings with casting executives during the summer of 2006 ultimately led to an interview at 20th Century Fox Television. After getting the job, I learned that Sharon Klein, who is still my boss to this very day, picked up my resume, saw that I went to UMD, and immediately called me in. Her best friend, Gail Berman, was a Terp, also with a bachelor's degree in theater. Gail is an amazing theater, television, and film producer who served as the president of Fox Broadcasting Company from 2000 to 2005, as well as Paramount Pictures from 2005 to 2007. And even though I had yet to meet this incredible woman, our UMD connection is what got my foot in the door. So as you're about to embark on your next chapter, know that it might not look exactly as you had imagined it. It might look even better. But whatever you do, and wherever you do it, do so with desire. Know that there's nothing else in the world that will satisfy you. To me, that's the recipe for professional, not to mention personal triumph. Some other tips I picked up along the way. Constantly practice your craft. Take improv, dialect, singing, dance classes. Master the art of self-taping. Volunteer or intern at a casting office if possible. See behind the scenes and learn from the success and mistakes of others. You'll find that not always the best actor wins the role, that there's so much that goes into why someone is chosen. Find a mentor and nourish that relationship. Then pay it forward, helping to usher in the next generation of artists. But most importantly, be yourself. Let that shine through, especially in auditions. I'm a firm believer in less is more, that truth prevails and authenticity wins. And lastly, have faith. I strongly believe that everything happens for a reason. Years ago, when working on a pilot for NBC, we cast Patrick J. Adams in the lead role. When the network ordered it to series, it was unfortunately decided that Patrick should be replaced, a devastating call for any actor to receive. We recast the role and shot the first season. When the show premiered, it failed to attract an audience and was canceled after only 4 episodes had aired. Meanwhile, Patrick was free to audition for another project called Suits. He booked it and went on to star in the acclaimed USA drama that ran for 9 seasons. I'm beyond grateful to have had the opportunity to speak to you all today. Your futures are wide open, and I wish you nothing but the best. Don't forget to lean on your friends, family, and of course alumni when need be. We're a small but strong group and always have each other's backs. I've had the honor of working with several UMD graduates in my career, including Natasha Rothwell, Porna Jaganathan, Adam Shapiro, and not to mention Gail Berman. I always burst with pride when my colleagues comment, "You're such a talented bunch." Yes, we are. Congratulations, class of 2024.
Of course, we're not going to let a recording be the last word. It is my privilege to introduce the Dean of the College of Arts and Humanities and a professor of ethnomusicology who will give us our closing remarks today, Dr. Stephanie Shonican.
So it's been a very hard year for many of us as we look at what's going on around the world. But this event right now reminds me why we do what we do. I'm so grateful to have been in this room so many times this year where my spirit has been lifted because of what these students have done for us in this building. As Dean of the College of Arts and Humanities, I could not be prouder of you, our graduates of 2024, for reaching this milestone, graduating with a degree from the School of Theater, Dance, and Performance Studies in the College of Arts and Humanities. I also want to congratulate my colleagues, all the faculty on stage here. I'm so honored to serve as Dean of this college because our graduates will provide a portal for us all to reflect on our past, process our present, and prepare for our future. Our graduates remind us to do the work of getting beyond the tweets and media stories, to dive deeper into who we were, who we are, and most importantly, who we hope to be. If we want to be a world to truly change, and if we are to evolve as a more just and equitable society, we must continue studying, thinking, analyzing, and providing the rich historical and socio-cultural context that our society needs to build sustainable and ethical democracies, communities, healthcare systems, educational institutions, technologies, and social networks on a local, national, and global level. We remind ourselves and others of the great potential we have as human beings to give love. Javi, I was listening, right? To give love and empathy to each other. In short, all the work we do in the College of Arts and Humanities sits at the very heart of humanity. I commend you all as graduates of the School of Theater, Dance, and Performance Studies, in particular, for the work you have done to study, write about, and create the most stunning and entertaining shows that have framed our world and held a mirror up for us to see ourselves. I have been moved by everything I have seen in this theater, in some of the other theaters around this building. And I have also heard about your excellent work. We need this work to understand our diverse societies and histories so that we can create sustainable and comprehensive interventions that will make our world better for all. I want to pause and congratulate and thank our families and friends. So let's see who we have here. Parents, let's hear you. Parents. Okay, good. Any grandparents? Hi, Mama, I've been watching you all morning. You've been so good. Any uncles and aunties? Okay, great. I know there's some siblings here. Siblings. Do we have any cousins? Okay, a few cousins. I see you. Spouses. Very good. Spouses have the hardest job, I know. Any children? Any children of our graduates? Not yet. Okay, a few. Okay. Do we have any friends of the graduates? Okay, I thought so. Yes, friends, always the loudest. Love it. So let me thank each and every one of you for lifting up these graduates with your moral, emotional, and parents' financial support. They would not be here without you, and myself and my colleagues would not be here without them. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts for recognizing the important work that our graduates have done over the last few years that have brought them to this point. And yes, Jordan, our steps are definitely ordered. Dear RHU graduates, you will soon be valued RHU alumni. I love our alums. We've heard from two of them this morning. One of the high points of this academic year was a visit that I made to the workshop of one of our esteemed alums, Jim Henson. His impact on my life began many years ago when I was a little girl growing up on the other side of the world. I was growing up in a different culture with a different worldview. Yet, a Maryland alum changed my life. Henson's Sesame Street and The Muppet Show helped me see and understand the world beyond the limitations of my own territory. So, as you all cross into the realm of our alumni, let me encourage you with the words of another alumni, Kermit the Frog, who once said, quote, "Life's like a movie, write your own ending. Never worry about failure, it's gonna happen. But that's okay, go ahead, take chances, and you might just find that what feels like failure isn't failure at all. It's what inspires you to dream even bigger." Congratulations.
I'm taking the very last word because the dean might call them RHU graduates, but they're TDPS graduates. I have been inspired daily by your improvisational ability, your grit, your humor, your intelligence, your artistry, and your passion. Thank you. And thank you to the faculty and staff of TDPS and our partners in the Clarice. Undergraduates, if you haven't done so already, move that tassel from the right to the left. And to the rest of you, just keep on moving. Welcome, newest alumni of TDPS.